Welcome back to Living Houston Real Estate. I'm your host, Julian Lopez, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the craziness going on with the foreclosures, a 700% change across the nation, 700% more foreclosure starts in January 2022. And we're going to take a deep dive into some of the statistics and some of the factors going into this and what we might see as an effect from all of these things and a possible solution. I'm going to need you guys' help in figuring out what we might be able to do and what is the most tactful way to go about our lives after all this craziness happens. I have some data here pulled up from Black Knight, and I'm going to dive into that just a little bit here with you guys. So some of the key points I wanted to touch on. So here we're looking at January 2021. You see 5.85% delinquencies there. So that means 5.85% out of all of the loans had delinquencies. But if you look at this number right here, foreclosure starts, that's 5,900 people. Okay, so we're going to compare that with January 2022. Okay, so you see the prices decrease, or the percentage has decreased 2%. Okay, so we're at 3.3%. Now, don't hesitate to ask yourself, why might this data not be correct? Why might it be skewed? And the answer to that is in 2021 and even 2020, we had the forbearance program where you didn't have to pay your mortgage. Now, I have several clients that decided not to take advantage of this program, and some of my personal friends as well, that it's not a get out of jail free card. And whenever they called their lenders and asked about this, the forbearance program, you actually get the payments that you're not making. Those are just going to be added on to the back of the loan. So you can hide, you can run as long as you can, but you can't hide from the inevitable. So how does that translate into this? So here again, 5,900. And now January 22, we do not have that forbearance program anymore. So we're starting to see a significant increase in the foreclosure starts. Now, these numbers are scary, but possibly a good thing at the same time. Why, you might ask? Home buyers have been struggling for the last 2 years, especially first-time home buyers, to trying to get into. Make a big screen one more time here. First-time home buyers have been struggling to get into homes because of the lack of inventory. There's not very many homes for sale. So this is going to, so to speak, help if this does go down by giving the new construction a little bit of competition. As of lately, we've seen 20-25% increases in new construction prices. Why? Because they're able to get away with it. Because they have no competition, because new construction is the only thing that these home buyers are able to purchase. So when we include these foreclosure starts, once those start coming out on the market to these consumers, there's going to be a little bit more competition for the new construction. So there may be a little bit of a change with the way new construction is doing business. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking into is another release of data from Black Knight. And this kind of shows the percentage change of foreclosure starts from January 2020. Now, as for a lot of these states, you can see they have decreased, but some of them, such as Oklahoma, look at that, 11, 19%, 32% change. So they have 32% more foreclosures going on than in January 2022. Those are big numbers. Those are massive numbers. Now, this is the January 2022 foreclosure starts. These are seriously delinquent mortgage statistics. Now, Texas, where I'm at here in Houston, we're seeing a pretty big number there, 4% out of all of the total mortgages. That is very high. That is scary. California, 2%. Oklahoma, 6.8%. So that kind of ties in with the last chart, 7% of all of the mortgages. So these are some serious numbers, and this gives a clear reality of how bad things really are. And these are the actual foreclosure statistics. this is a sign that true doom could be coming, or a transition in the real estate world from possibly a seller's market into a buyer's market. Another thing to touch on is why this foreclosure situation might be so much worse. People are comparing 2022 nowhere to the 2008 crash because of all the qualifications and all the requirements that are necessary for uh, acquiring a loan these days. But that may be true. But at the same time, we've noticed that homebuyers are still recklessly spending their money. We're seeing 105% loans that people are taking full advantage of, and then they're spending their cash on top of that. That basically, if you almost like a new car, if you spend way too much on a new car, as soon as you pull off the lot, it loses 30 grand of value. So if you buy a $700,000 home and realistically it should be priced at 500,000, then you're automatically negative 200,000 in equity. So that's one of those things that plays a vital role in making sure that you're not just settling for something that's there, or not overpaying way higher than what you should be paying, and doing your due diligence and really waiting and making sure that you get something that you love. Now, do I recommend, hey, hold off if it's something you love? Maybe not. Maybe I would overpay for something I love, but don't settle and overpay at the same time. Now, we're starting to see a lot of cash out refinances similar to 2005, 2006. I anticipate that the first quarter of 2022, we're going to see an overwhelming amount of cash out refinances. And when they do this, they can no longer afford their payment due to inflation. They can't sell because they're upside down in equity. And when that's happening, that's when we start to see the foreclosures coming around and more of a adjustment in the housing market. When we see the appraised values start going up and the taxes start raising because of the influx in home prices, that means we're going to start to see the appraised values going up as well. And tying in with that, we're going to see the taxes, the annual taxes start to increase. It could be anywhere $150 to $300 per month for the appraised values, because if your home is sitting here and then both of your neighbors down the street decide to sell and they have a similar home to you, then the county is going to basically take that into account. And if they sold for 500,000, your home you bought for 250, then they're going to say, hey, Joe Bob, you have the same house, so we're going to raise the value because your home is now more valuable, and you get stuck having to pay for the difference. It has never been a more important time to strengthen your situation, build your credit, stack your money as much as possible into 2022 and 2023. Because if you don't set yourselves up for success going into these years, then the investors are going to purchase the homes instead of you. Educate and empower yourselves so that when it is a buyer's market, when the seller's market finally dies down and takes that curve, that you are prepared and that you're educated and you're financially solid to be able to pull the trigger on the home that you love, and not only settle for it, not only overpay for it, but actually maybe get a great deal on it and live the life that you are supposed to. Educate yourself and empower yourself so that when the time comes and when we transition into a buyer's market, that you are prepared and that you are winning instead of the investors. Let's take back America for the homeowners and for the people that deserve it, so that the big head investors don't buy up everything and turn us into a giant rental market. I hope this was valuable to you, and I hope you learned something from this video. I wish you guys great luck, and I hope you win. If you haven't already, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe and give me a call. We have a link in the description if you have any questions about the Houston or surrounding areas real estate market. Thank you, and peace out.